Howdy, this is Marisa with Marisa Moments podcast, where I give you my real life stories and their healing translations. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? So I've had friends, many different types of friends throughout my many existences within this lifetime, right? And they've come from all different types of walks of life, and different personalities, different backgrounds, all of those things, right? Which is beautiful, right? Because that's the way the world works. That's the way it spins. That's the way it's created, and that's the way it is. So that does me great pride to say that and mean it, right? But anyway, that's not what this story is about at all. The story is about how I essentially love to make up excuses for the people that I choose to surround myself with. Right now, this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone at every time in every scenario. So if you're one of those people that I have known, God bless you. If this applies to you, perhaps it does. Maybe it's a trigger for a reflection, and maybe it's not about you at all. So if you feel some type of way, then that's an opportunity to look within, right? Anyway, moving on. The basis of this story is I love to create excuses for other people's behavior. It's much easier to create an excuse for people's behavior as it relates to myself than it is to face the truth that I'm just not as much of a priority to them as they are to me. That I had essentially created these relationships and put them on pedestals in my mind when they actually had me on the ground level, right? Again, this isn't a victim response. This isn't anything of the like. This is just a healing translation, because this is actually how I receive things and this is how I perceive them. So perceptions become reality. But anyway, carrying on. So let's say, for instance, I would send a text where, hey, I need you to, I don't know, pick me up an apple, right? Because I know you're going to the store, and I will send you the money, and I will pick it up from you. I just don't have time to get to the store before it closes, right? So let's pretend that's the text message. Then I'd hear crickets. Crickets, cricket, cricket, cricket. I'm sure that's not how crickets sound, but let's say for all intents and purposes. Anyway, so I wouldn't hear anything back, and I'm like, oh, they must not have received my message. And then they send me a message of their grocery haul, right? And it has tons of apples, and I'm like, oh sweet, I'm glad you were able to get me an apple, because I definitely need it for tonight. And they're like, oh no, these are apples for me. Yeah, I saw your message. Thanks for the reminder that I needed to pick up some apples, but I didn't have a chance to get one for you, right? Now, obviously, this is a gross over-exaggeration to illustrate my point, but follow along with me, right? So then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I could remind you then. You think I could borrow an apple, or just, I promise I'll pay you for it, or I can bring you an apple tomorrow to replace it, but I just really could use it tonight, and I just didn't have time to get to the store, and I knew you were going. And they're like, oh yeah, see about that. I just really don't have an apple to spare. I know I have 300, but I need all 300. Yeah, so it's a no for me, dog. And I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. I mean, whatever, I'll figure something else out. And then 15 minutes later, they text me and they're like, hey, I need a banana from the store. And I know it's completely out of your way, and I know that you have no money, and I know that I have no intention on sending you any money, but I need you to get it for me anyway. I need you to make it happen. I really need you to make it happen. And I'm just like, okay, I'll get it. No problem. I mean, I'm just pre-surgery and about to go under the knife, but you know what? We're besties till the end, right? So let me go on ahead and get this banana for you. I'll just tuck my spleen back in, right? Again, gross over-exaggeration, but I need to illustrate this point to you. So the bottom line of this bottom line is that I again, putting people on pedestals, not realizing that actual situation, living in a fantasy land and not knowing my own true self-worth, right? Well, like I said, Spirit was like, wake up, shake up. Sorry, that's funny though. Anyway, so Spirit was like, okay, you want to keep playing these games, you're gonna keep winning silly prizes. And so it just had to come to a place and space and time where I recognized my own worth through healing other things and reminding myself of my own divinity, power, and just excellence, and recognizing that I need to be around reciprocated energy at the very least. Very least. Now, mind you, my energy is high. My vibrations are up to the sky. And so it's not easy to get up to where I am. And yes, that is a brag on myself because I'm pretty awesome. But the point of this point is stop settling. Here's the healing translation. We got to stop settling. We got to stop selling ourselves short. We got to stop making up excuses for other people's behavior because that gets them off the hook in terms of their own personal growth and healing. Me letting people think that their behavior was okay to walk on top of somebody and use them essentially is me exacerbating their own toxic behavior, right? And at the same time, reinforcing my own toxic behavior because I'm telling myself I'm worthless, right? And we have to get to a place where it's just like, no more. That's why we heal. That's why we do this journey. That's why we walk this walk. That's why we talk this talk, right? Because we deserve so much more. We deserve abundance, happiness, clarity, healing, toxic-free environments, happiness, joy, glee, all of these things. That's our birthright. And so for us to accept anything that is less than what we are actually giving is is a crime. So stop committing crimes. But anyway, I guess that's it for now. If this message resonates, then that means it's for you. And if not, that's cool too. Just keep it pushing. Either way, I thank you for listening and I wish you the very best day ever. Until next time, you know the vibes. Peace. And by the way, don't forget to look me up on all of social media. I'm basically everywhere that you probably shouldn't be. But remember, it's Marisa Moments, and that's Marisa with one S because there is only one me. And when Spirit moves you, because I know they will, go on ahead and send a contribution. Any donation, large or small, however you perceive it, is welcomed with gratitude and love. Essentially, we're creating ripple effects and reinvesting into paying for the websites, paying for anything that is Marisa Moments related to try to reach out, help others heal, and expand this awakening. So I look forward to working with you, and I thank you in advance. In the meantime, happy healing.